Hello, gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. Today, we will be talking about the biggest tips for beginners, muscle growth tips, that is, from a gym veteran, me. We're going to be talking about the best way to build muscle, get big, get strong, lean, aesthetic, beautifully crafted, whatever that means. And my coffee cup right here, as it is about 2 a.m. And I've got my fake microphone here because it looks cool for Instagram posts. Yeah, that's the only reason. It looks cool. I think it looks cool. I know I look at it and I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. Especially when, you're me. You see everyone else and you're like, hey, they're pretty cool because they have a microphone. But now I have a microphone. So I can look at myself and I can go, hey, I'm pretty cool. Number one, train the muscle you intend to train. I'm going to tell you a quick story. When I was training a few years ago, I was kind of just doing whatever, followed an Arnold Schwarzenegger online workout plan, did what he did. I'm like, well, he's big, so I'll try that. I was messing around a little bit. And after doing some research on my own, hours and hours and hours on YouTube, it all eventually started to click for me. I started seeing these videos on hypertrophy and I was like, you know what ties it all together? Is it's all about training the muscle you intend to train. This is why ego lifting is bad. Putting the weight too heavy is bad. Poor form is bad. That's why jerking the weight is bad. All these things, all of form is just about, number one, safety. Number two, training your target muscle. And I really hope that that clicks for you because that's what clicked for me. When you think about it like that, you're going to stop jerking your dumbbells. You're going to stop going like a moron, okay? Instead, you're going to do a full range of motion every single time. So when you think about it that way, when you're jerking the weight like this, guess what muscles you're actually using? Your freaking back. Is that what you're trying to do while you're doing curls? That's impressive. I'm just working on my biceps, babe. Ugh. That doesn't work. That's not how that works. So yes, full range of motion and isolate. Everyone wants to debate in the gym community. What's the best for chest exercise, stabilization, all this jargon? No one cares at the end of the day. I know it's correct, and I know that it is very scientific, but there's a difference between bro science and just legitimate knowledge, okay? And I'm a science nerd for these things. I really enjoy it. I think it's very interesting and fascinating. That's why I became a coach. However, I realized that you don't give a crap and you don't care. So I'm just going to tell you the basic fact, which is do your form correctly. Focus on form. Isolate the muscle. Do a full range of motion. When people are arguing over barbell bench press versus Smith machine bench press for chest size, it's obviously going to be the Smith machine, without a doubt. I'm not going to argue with you on this. But the barbell bench press, you have to use stabilizer muscle. How do you think muscle grows? Does muscle grow just because it gets a little bit of a, you used me, Doesn't work like that. I heard of an analogy from Dr. Mike Israetel. I respect him a lot. Got a lot of my knowledge from him. Wonderful YouTube channel. You should check him out. If you're trying to get a rocket into space, are you going to put all of your energy in the bottom to thrust it up to get the max amount of height and velocity? Or are you gonna give it little micro spurts, on the edge, go in here, gotta make sure, gotta course direct a little, change direction a little bit. No. What would be the most efficient rocket was a rocket that maybe it was attached to something, right? The rocket's like this. There's like a bar going through it, right? If all the force is going up like this, all the energy can be focused on just going up rather than worrying about side to side. That's why the Smith machine is better when trying to grow your chest. Now, if you're trying to get stronger overall, then yeah, probably barbell bench press, just because it is a more general movement. It's just more broad. But the Smith machine is just going to be better. And that's just an example for what your mindset should be when you're training in the gym. Don't focus so much on blasting your muscles like a bro. I'm a bit of a gym bro. Sometimes I'll go to the gym, I'll just feel like freaking slamming weights around. Is it good for my goals? No. Does it feel good? Yeah, obviously. That's why people do it. But I think what's best is to focus on doing it correctly to just absolutely demolish a muscle in the correct way. You can still be a boss by doing weight training the right way. You don't have to think, I feel dumb doing this thing correctly. I don't buy it. And lastly, kind of on this topic, focus on your mind-muscle connection. The way I describe mind-muscle connection is not spiritual with your muscles. I'm not sitting here thinking, connecting with my biceps. No, it's just simply, do you feel it in the target muscle? You getting a pump there? Is it hard in that place? Are you feeling it anywhere else? If you are, probably change your form a little bit. That's most likely your best bet. Just mind-muscle connection is going to be, how does it feel afterwards? And when you're sore the next day, are you sore in your target muscle? For example, if you are doing squats one day, and then you wake up the next morning, the Dom says to you, you're sore, can't walk. But then you realize, my calves are kind of sore. Why are your calves sore? If you didn't exercise calves yesterday, which you probably didn't, most people don't, why are your calves sore? For what? The truth of the matter is, the soreness is very good for indicating if you used correct muscles in your exercise. So if you feel it a lot in your calves after doing kind of a leg day, aside from calves, you probably did your squats wrong and you're kind of cheating using your calves. Now, that's a poor example. There's better examples out there. For example, chest exercises. If you're doing, a chest day and you feel it more in your triceps than your chest, you're probably doing something wrong. Because it's not like your chest is a muscle that just doesn't get sore. There's muscles that are like that. They don't really get sore as much, like your delt. Your chest isn't like that. Your chest will get really freaking sore. Feels good, but that's not the point. Remember it. Just make sure you feel it in the muscle you're trying to hit. Very important. Number 2, my next tip, train really freaking hard. Yeah. So if you're a beginner, I wouldn't take this advice just yet. I would actually focus more on getting the fundamental moves down. Get your squat, your bench press, probably even bent over rows, overhead press. I would focus on those and learn the fundamentals. But after that, you should really be training hard. You should be learning how to push yourself while still maintaining good form. Very vital. The only caveat to training hard is train hard enough that you will be recovered for your next session. It is better to do a 2/3 training intensity, for example, rather than a one time per week. Obviously, the math adds up. It's going to be more because you're able to recover. When you go at a level 1 intensity compared to 2/3, right? Remember this. You will not recover in time, and the growth difference between the last 1 or 2 reps isn't enough to warrant the extra training. The growth it just doesn't line up. It's just not as important. Blasting a muscle 1 time per week is not as efficient as hitting it twice per week. The facts are very clear on this. Hitting it twice per week is going to give you the best growth, even though that's the unpopular opinion. I don't really care. This is the best way to do it. If you're doing it, I'm going to hit chest, bro, and 1 time per week, probably. No, that's not going to give you the best growth at all. So do not do this. I know it's very popular. It's kind of more fun that way. You just blast arms. It's just not going to grow you the best. And I used to train like this, but I realized it's not going to bring you the best growth. But that's a side point. Train really hard regardless. I'm not saying you should train like a loser, but you need to train extremely, extremely hard. It's going to be hard, especially if you're a beginner. What you think is hard, you will progress to learn is not hard. Beginners don't know what hard looks like really because they're not really used to it. Hard is really hard. But then when you get more advanced, it doesn't feel as hard because you're more used to it. So train hard for you. What feels extremely hard for you? Probably a good place to go. Now, of course, you're probably going to work on needing to train harder as you get better. And that's very important because some people don't know how to train hard and how to push themselves. That's a skill, but practice that skill. Get good with that skill. I promise you, your gains will explode. Oh, actually, one more thing. I see a lot of people, they'll do so much volume in a day, right? They'll do tons of exercises for one muscle. But when you look at their sets, you see that they can't actually keep up that volume unless they train so many reps away from failure. I see this all the time. People will train and they're going to be doing I'm doing about 4 to 8 sets for my back. And they'll be doing the most sloppy reps, first of all, trash. And the form is just not, it's not there. And number three, they're not training hard at all. To keep up that level of volume, especially if you're a beginner, you just must not train hard. You physically cannot train hard. Like, you will reach that third exercise, and if you're actually training at a good intensity, you will be an absolute noodle. You will not be able to do anything. That's what training hard feels like. If you are reaching 4, 5, 6 different exercises at 3 sets, if you're getting that far, you didn't train hard enough. And that's just a plain fact. You can argue with me all you want. I trained hard enough. No, you don't. If you're hitting that many number of exercises with 3 sets, you are not training hard enough. And there's no reason for that much volume. Number 3, eat enough protein. I noticed that when I train, I can't not eat enough protein. I'm so focused on, I put in all this effort in the gym. Why would I put it to waste just by not eating enough protein? Why would I just kind of like throw it all away just because I was like, I don't feel like making any protein, or I'm just not tracking it, don't really care. When you put in that work, you want to eat enough protein. So just make sure you're eating enough protein. You will not grow the same unless you are eating enough protein. This is all over the internet, but if I'm the first video you're finding this on, that's fantastic. You should be eating about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight if you're relatively lean. So that can vary, about 20 grams, but for the most part, that's a perfect range for a lot of people. Now, if you are overweight, the best way to calculate this is actually to calculate how tall you are in centimeters and then eat that number of grams, right? So let's say, I don't really know centimeters too well. I'm an American, born and raised, right? What's a kilometer? Who knows? But your height in centimeters, I think 150 is a reasonable number. We'll just say, I have no idea. I think that's actually pretty short, but let's say you're 150 centimeters tall. Oh no, it is. Because I'm about 210 roughly because of my weight. It's about the same. So let's say you're 200 centimeters tall. Eat 200 grams of protein per day. That's a perfect way to calculate it. It's very easy. That's what I give to all of my overweight clients. I say, how tall are you? They'll give me normally feet because they're American, and I'll calculate it out for them using centimeters, and I'll say this is how much protein you should be having. It's generally a very good range, and it works really well. So make sure you're eating enough protein, my friend, and you will see the best gains in the gym possible. If you're not eating the building blocks for your muscles, you're not going to grow. People will go to the gym and they'll have a crap diet and they'll be like, why am I not growing? Well, I wonder why. You're eating nothing but those freaking donuts and honey buns. Maybe if you cut those out, you replace it with some chicken, you might grow a little bit more, even if it's fried chicken. I understand. Sometimes some fried chicken sounds really good. This was not going to be included in this video because this is supposed to be a professional fitness video, but I do want to say something. Tristan Tate was right. This one time I heard him, it was just on a short video. He's talking about black people chicken versus brown people chicken versus white people chicken. He's absolutely right. I'm as white as they come in terms of like my family lineage. Pretty sure hundreds of years ago, I'm freaking British. So I'm as white as it gets. And my mom's side, also very, very white. And I'm not going to lie, unless it's my dad who cooked it. And my dad, he's the only one who brings like diversity into our food because he's kind of built, well, I'm built like him. I actually like seasoning. White people chicken is garbage. There's no seasoning at all. And it's a real shame because that means I have to make all my own chicken, which is fine, whatever. But brown people and black people chicken is the absolute best. No one can argue with me on this. You can call me racist if you want. I'm complimenting them. Good job to other people who aren't white. You mastered chicken. Keep going. Keep going strong. Keep making great food. I love your food. Please make more. I really love trying other cultures' food. Fantastic. One of my favorite things to do. Going to Japan in a few days here. Can't wait to just eat different foods. Fantastic. I don't know why people are so picky. There's so many good things to choose from. Anyways, that's going to be the end of the video. Say goodbye to the fake microphone, a cup of coffee. I think I want to film another video yet. It's going to be 3 in an evening. So have a fantastic day. There's links to my coaching in the bio. It's a very short promotional piece. You can book a call. You can book a DM or not book a DM. You can just DM me, whatever, no big deal. DM me on my Instagram and I'll reach out to you and I'll see if I can help you out in any ways. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching this video and have a fantastic day.